All right, we're back with another pick'em video. It is Thursday, March 27th in the NBA. I got a few picks for you guys. I'm going to kind of breeze through this one because it's a little bit later in the day. I've had a few meetings. I have another meeting in a little bit here. So I wanted to get on here, talk about some NBA plays, and also address if I'm going to be doing MLB plays. The answer is probably a little bit of yes or no. I'm probably not going to do them as the NBA is going on. I'm really focusing on the NBA. It's my bread and butter. I've played basketball my whole life. I've coached basketball at multiple different levels, actually. So I definitely enjoy basketball. I watch basketball more than I do the MLB. But with that said, I am profitable sports bettor in the MLB. It's very analytical and it's fun for me to dive into, hitter pitcher matchups, historical data on that, lefties versus righty, park factors, nerfies are a lot of fun. One of my favorite things to bet on. So I want to eventually do videos on them. But with NBA going on right now, I definitely want to focus on that, playoffs coming up and things like that. So that's where I'm going to be focusing on. In the Discord community, I will still be posting my MLB plays. A lot of people are already talking about MLB. It's, the hype of opening day, but there's a lot of analytics on it. There's a lot of games, so there's a lot of value on it as well. But it can also be a little bit more volatile at times at the same time. So yes, I'm going to be doing MLB content at some point. No, not for right now. I want to know, how these guys are playing under different situations. Again, with the NBA, I know every single move that happens in the NBA. If guys are getting called up from the G League, practically, I'm going to be in tune with that. With the MLB, I'm a little bit farther behind. So I just want to be, totally transparent with that. With that said, also, I think I've said with that said a million times, if you're someone that does MLB and you follow the MLB, that maybe that's your love and joy for sports is the MLB first. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a profitable sports bettor in the MLB, whatever you might be doing, player props, parlays, just let me know because I do eventually want to grow this. I know a lot of channels are doing this where they have their specific thing that they're good at and they bring in someone else that can really do the heavy lifting for these other types of sports. And that's how this channel will grow. So for MLB specifically, that's what I'll be looking for. I'm definitely going to be doing the WNBA this season. But again, if you know a lot about the WNBA, let me know in the comments down below. I just want to get some feelers out there as we try to continue to grow this channel over the past year and a half. It's been awesome, but it's only kind of up from here. And if that means bringing in someone else to the team, I'm all for that. So that's the MLB news for today. Again, to kind of recap what I just said, MLB content will be eventually coming, but I'm going to be focusing on the NBA, and that goes hand in hand with what we're going to talk about today. So with that all out of the way, we're going to talk about the recap. We are going to talk about the injury news, and then we'll go into the plays for today. I'm going to try to breeze through it again. I know it's late. Later in the day. With all this going on, I also want to get my videos out earlier, especially if I'm trying to sneak in MLB content as well. And it just honestly comes down to a shift in my sleeping schedule because I'm someone that does a lot of research late at night, makes it so I can't get up as early as some of these other people. So I need to shift that, and that's going to be coming eventually too. So content going to continue to coming out, and just be ready for that. Let's hop into the recap. So jumping into the recap of yesterday's plays, we talked about Tyrese Halliburton, his double-double. Didn't really have to talk much about it. I think everyone and their grandma bet on Tyrese Halliburton double-double. If you threw a computer in front of a 5-year-old, I think they probably would have come to the conclusion that Tyrese Halliburton would have a double-double yesterday. I'm not sure what the books were doing. It was a normal play, and he cashed that very easily. Had 1 million assists against the Lakers. They ended up losing that game after LeBron had the last-second tip-in. But Tyrese Halliburton did his job, got the double-double, and he's playing the Wizards again today. So he's got that streak going. Probably in the back of his mind, hey, I've got a lot of double-doubles in a row. Maybe I should get another one against a very weak defense in the Wizards. We also talked about Zubac over his 13.5 rebounds and assists. He ended with 12. He scored very well, played pretty well. Everyone played really well on this Clippers teams as they kind of trounced the Knicks. A little bit of a comeback at the end there, but Clippers were in control that whole time. 12.0 rebounds and assists on the end there. So I'm not too worried about the read. He just had some other guys stepping up and grabbing boards. Kawhi, Harden, all those guys doing their thing. So unfortunate one there. Jamal Murray over 9.5 rebounds and assists, though. I thought this was going to be an unfortunate one because Jokic ended up playing that game. He still ended up going over. He had 10 rebounds and assists for a nice cash for us. We also talked about Kevin Porter Jr., not an official play, but we did talk about his points and assists at 20.5. He ended on the hook. He had 20.0. So that's exactly why I was lean. We didn't have all the data. We only had like a 3-game, 4-game sample size, and he ends on the hook. So not the worst case scenario, but not as strong as some of these other plays, and we went 2-1 on the official plays. We'll take the profit and run there. So I'll talk about some injury news, hopping into the first game of the Spurs and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Going to try to run through this as quickly as possible. Bassey, I don't care about for the Spurs. Obviously, no Fox, no Wemby. We know all of that. And the minutes for guys like Chris Paul have been coming down and down and down, projected for 24 minutes in this one. Harrison Barnes, another guy, an older guy, that will probably lose minutes to some of these younger dudes, especially if this is a blowout 14-point spread. Evan Mobley, going to be the main guy out for the Cleveland Cavaliers, so that's going to be a boost for everyone. Another guy, a guy that I went to the other day that ended up coming up short for us was DeAndre Hunter. It was the Ty Jerome show last time, so another weak matchup here. No Mobley in this situation, so Hunter should get a few more shots. You can see the on-off court stats actually without Mobley on the court. Guys like Ty Jerome, Donovan Mitchell, Hunter, the main beneficiaries from that. Jared Allen, Garland also going to get a little bit more boost just because Mobley's a guy that can score the ball, can get some rebounds, can chip in with some assists. So everyone's going to get a little bit of a piece of that plate with Mobley on the bench here. Move along to Dallas and Orlando. We got AD probable expected to play. So you can see the projected minutes for here. Kai Jones still slotted into that center spot with Klay Thompson projected for 30 minutes. Dinwiddie projected for 30 minutes. Always a good spot to look at Dinwiddie's assists without Kyrie and Luka in town. And now with AD playing, just a better guy to throw the ball to and get some easy buckets. No Gafford, no Lively, no Washington still. So a bunch of injuries still, but it's good to see AD creeping back onto the court, even though he'd only played 27 minutes the first game, projected for 30 minutes in this game. He's going to need some time to get his legs under him, especially with the season kind of coming to an end. But they're more focused on next year than this year. They got no chance this year. Moving along to Orlando side of things, they're relatively healthy. We got Cole Anthony as a doubtful tag. He's missed the last few games, so I expect him probably to sit here. Indiana Pacers versus Washington Wizards. They're one of the teams on a back-to-back. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton, double-double. Got to be something you think about against this weak Washington defense. No Smart, no George, no Bilal Kubali, no Brogdon, no Sadiq Bey. So obviously they're banged up. No one getting more than 20 minutes on this team. Alex Sarr, the guy that I always want to look at just because he's playing really, really well, and they're finally putting the ball into his hands, which is a good thing because he's the rookie on this team, and he looks like one of the better rookies in this class, which is pretty weak in terms of NBA standards. So Indiana, fully healthy against Washington. Just keep in mind 13-point blowout situation potential there. Atlanta and Miami, we got Trae Young as a probable tag. He always is, and he'll probably go out there and play. Still no Capella, Toppin, Wallace all out for this team. Capella is really the only main guy there, but he's missed a whole lot of time recently. So Trae Young, probable, should be ready to go. Horrible matchup for him to score the ball against Miami. He's someone that we've gotten to actually twice in terms of video picks on the under against Miami, and he's cashed both times. Could be something we look at today. And you can see the projected minutes here. Mohamed Gay, 12 projected minutes. Not sure why this dude starts, and then they just don't play him. Maybe they like his combo with Onyeka Okongwu in there to start games off, but Okongwu, Daniels, Trae, those are the main guys getting minutes. Karis LeVert, Niang, Terrence Mann, going to be the main dudes off the bench like always. Then for Miami side of things, Alex Burke and Duncan Robinson, game time decisions. Jovic still out, but good to see Andrew Wiggins, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Khalil Ware all active and ready to go. Lakers in Chicago. Lakers coming off a tip-in win against the Pacers last night, so they're on a back-to-back, and they're going up against Chicago, who kind of beat them down pretty good last time they played. So that was a giddy explosion for his assists, his points. He played really well in rebounds. He might have had a triple-double. I don't actually remember, but he might have had a triple-double. Kobe White played well. Montes Pizzelos played really well in that game as well. So kind of a rematch here. I'm sure the Lakers want to get them back for that beatdown that they had. But they are in Chicago. Giddy playing really well. Chicago playing pretty well. Kobe White playing really well. So a lot of these other guys, game time decisions for a lot of these dudes as well. So maybe something to be excited about. 234 is the point total in this one. Lakers on a back-to-back, 3-point spread, so it could be a closer one. And again, the Giddy wagon, the Kobe White wagon, even the Luka wagon, all is going to be hand in hand here with the weak defenses kind of on both sides. Vucevic being game time decision makes me like Giddy, rebounding potential even a little bit more. So a whole bunch of guys, game time decisions for the Chicago Bulls. I expect Giddy to play. I expect Kobe White to play. I don't know about Lonzo or Vucevic, but we'll see. Still no Trey Jones for that team, and Rui Hachimura should play in today's game, I think. I just got an update about him. No, he's out. Okay, so Rui's not playing. Memphis and OKC. We got a 10-point spread in favor of OKC. They are at home. No A.J. Mitchell still. No Wiggins. No Dukas. Who the hell is Dukas? Oh, my God. He looks like a doofus. Alec Dukas is out. Someone I've never even heard of. But for the main guys, Cason Wallace and J-Dub, both game time decisions here. OKC, I'm sure, will be very cautious with who plays because they've already locked up the entire Western Conference, so they really don't need to play for anything. But we've seen Shea, he's looking for MVP. Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, all active and ready to go. You can see their minutes, not like crazy or anything, but Shea expected for 34, 31 for the main other guys. Hartenstein down to 28, and of course some dudes off the bench. Could be a good spot to look at some of these guys, but again, I just don't know if Joe or Wallace is even going to be active and how much minutes they're going to get. 10-point spread, no John Morant on the other side of things. Is OKC going to lose their edge down the stretch as they don't really care as much about these other games? Probably not. But if so, maybe Memphis, sneaks in here, keeps this thing close, and we can see some overs that we don't usually see against OKC. But I don't really know. I don't have a great read on that game, to be totally honest. Moving along to Houston and Utah, we got Amon Thompson was a late scratch recently. Steven Adams going to be a game time decision here, so you want to see if those guys are going to play. What was been really, really, really good has been Dylan Brooks in the first half. His points line in the first half is usually 7.5. Always something I want to look at. He does a lot of that in the first quarter typically as well. So Dylan Brooks has been wagging here against Utah, 13-point spread. Maybe a first half play is the move here. And then it's getting a little bit harder to predict who's going to do most of the damage for Houston. But at the same time, no John Collins anymore, no Marketing. Clarkson's out for the year, so we are getting a little bit of a boost from some of these other guys. Just keep in mind, 13-point spread, blowout potential. And Houston's a very good defense when everyone's out there. So if Amon's out there, that's going to boost their defense up even a little bit more. And again, just always got to worry about the blowout potential. And for Houston's side of things, a little bit more difficult with everyone healthy to see or know who's going to be the guy that's going to torch this team, because Utah obviously one of the weaker defenses. Then finally moving into Portland and Sacramento, take a look at these projected minutes. Denny and Sharp going to get as much time as they can handle. Kamara is going to be a game time decision. Jeremy Grant's not going to play this game. He's been doubtful and he keeps missing every game pretty much. DeAndre Ayton, Rob Will all out for this one. It's going to be the Denny and Sharp show. Kamara, if he plays, and Simons, they're going to get as many minutes as they can pretty much handle. If Scoot comes in cooking, then they'll give him more minutes than someone like Simons. And in Clingan, if he can stay out of foul trouble and stay on the court, he's going to be a good matchup to play a decent amount of minutes against Sabonis. On the Sacramento side of things, Monk is going to be the main game time decision here. Sabonis looks like he's ready to go and active, and Sacramento's looked pretty horrible, so hopefully they can get a win here. They are favored at home by 6 points, but yeah, I'm loving the value here for Sharp and especially Denny Advia. So that's the injury news, and for lack of time right now, I am going to breeze through these picks that I'm going to talk about. We're going to be using a tool called Props Madness. If you're watching this tool and you're like, I got to check this thing out, it shows you a whole bunch of different data. Use the link in the description down below. It's code RICH when signing up. You get a free week trial. You get 25% off your first month or your first year. Props Madness is freaking awesome, and again, we use it every single day. And one of the main reasons I'm a profitable NBA bettor and enjoy, researching all this different stuff, because you can see all the data, you can do the nitty gritty, and you can find some really good plays here. So the guy I'm going to start off with is going to probably be Denny Advia, the guy I was just talking about in the injury report. We can see his points is at 19.5, his assists is at 4.5, rebounds at 8.5. Rebounds and assists at 13.5 is something I've always been looking at ever since these injuries have been piling up, and you can see his minutes recently has been a little bit more consistent. Games that he'll just randomly get hurt or something, you can't really help those, and those have kind of always, like, I keep went to this Wizards game and this Wizards game, 2 games that he had the 13.5 rebounds assist line. It was probably lower in those games too, but he didn't get there. He got hurt in this game, played 6 minutes, and then it was a complete blowout, and he didn't have to play that much time in this game, which was unfortunate. But with all these injuries and all the projected minutes he's projected to get, as these minutes kind of go up, 34 plus minutes, 69% hit rate. He's projected for 38 minutes right now, 83% hit rate. We haven't even talked about the injury news either. If you just want to just go to the injury news, how about no Jeremy Grant, no Ayton? You could potentially do no Rob Williams in here, over in 61% of games. But again, those minutes, 23 minutes, 28 minutes. We're expecting 38 minutes in these games. The hit rate on these is going to be awesome. So 80%, 35 plus minutes without all those guys in the lineup. How about 100%? So rebounds and assists has been awesome. I do think his scoring is going to be a good spot here too. You can see how he scores the ball in terms of spot up, in terms of free throws. I don't trust him as much in terms of rebounding assists, because he's going to be the main rebounder. He's the main distributor sometimes as well. You can see the assists alone, very, very good. Rebounds alone, really, really good. So you could look at one of those individually as well, maybe even the rebounds here, but they are going up against a kind of a difficult defensive rank in terms of rebounds. But I like Denny altogether. You could look at his points. I just don't trust him as much. Kind of a harder matchup when you look at similar types of players and how they've scored their points. Only 2 of 10 similar types of players have gone over their lines, but spot up and free throws look okay. Again, more the reason I'm looking at the rebounds and assists. The hit rate's better, and the matchup's a little bit better too. Yes, a little bit of a harder, difficult defense to grab some boards. They rank 7th to that. They also rank 20th in assists allowed, but it hasn't really mattered who has he gone up against. The Cavs, the Heat, the Warriors, all good defenses here pretty much. The Celtics, the Cavs, hasn't really mattered. He's been able to grab rebounds, grab assists with the extra time without some dudes on the floor. I like Denny in this spot, 13.5 rebounds and assists. Jumping in the next play here, it's going to be Joshua Giddford over 17.5 rebounds and assists. If this sounds familiar, we went to it just the other day against the Nuggets. He ended with 17, I thought. Looks like it's 16, maybe a stat correction there. But he came up just short. But this has really been a wagon ever since he's joined the starting lineup. With no Adesanya, no Trey Jones, they don't have to worry about other guys taking his minutes. Lonzo Ball is a game time decision. Josh Giddey himself is actually a game time decision here. as well, but he hasn't played since the 24th. Yes, he's dealing with an injury, but I think he should be ready to go. How well he played against the Lakers last time, I think that's a pretty good sign for him. He had 17 assists and 10 rebounds, triple-double in that one too. Maybe sprinkle something on that, which is what we did the last time we bet on Giddey. But yeah, I think I just got to continue going with this wagon. I don't trust his points. I don't know what it is. I've seen Giddey play a whole lot. He's been on my fantasy team a whole lot over the past few years. Field goals attempted have been there. He hasn't, shot less than 11 times in the past few games, and he's shooting really, really good percentages too. You can see field goal percentage. Like that's not normal. His line. If you go through the entire games, this line is higher than it ever has been, really. Yeah, the upwards trend in this blue line, even when he's taking, 11 plus shots on the season, which is his minimum right now, he's still only over this in 38% of games. He didn't get there against the Lakers last time. He shot 5 of 11. So I'm going to be focused on the rebounds and assists. I hope he can do it again. He crushed these guys last time they played. I got too many games here, so we can't see the logos for these teams. But last time the guys played, again, 27 rebounds, assists, triple-double in that one. I like his matchup here. Again, the Lakers probably going to be playing, coming out hot and playing aggressively because the Bulls got him last time they played. But at the same time, they're on a back-to-back, the Lakers are. Giddey and the Bulls should be well-rested and ready to go. And again, Lonzo Ball coming back doesn't really pin the needle for me to say, oh, no, I'm not going to go to Josh Giddey. You can see in games with Lonzo and without Ayo Dosunmu in the lineup, he's still over this in 79% of games on the rebounds and assist line. It's really just without Ayo Dosunmu in the lineup, when he's starting, you don't, again, Trey Jones isn't in here either. There's just no point guards for them to talk about, and he's just been hitting this line. So I really like this opportunity. I think he's a guy that can crush this line if he gets the assists and can chip in with some rebounds. Vucevic, another guy on the injury report. If he doesn't play, that's just going to be more opportunities for rebound situations. Yes, you got to deal with the potential for a blowout here, but it is only a 3.5 point spread. Lakers on a back-to-back. Maybe LeBron randomly doesn't play. Someone gets ruled out. Rui Hachimura already got ruled out. So yeah, I just like Giddey here. Maybe some more clanks off the rim for these Lakers players on the back-to-back situation. The Bulls are at home. Hopefully, guys shoot a little bit better. I just like Giddey 17.5. I don't know what else to say here. I've also heard rumors that there's situations where Giddey has a new girlfriend, and that's usually where his boys set the line right at 17.5. And then moving into our last pick here. Sorry for kind of rushing through this video, but I like this slate a lot. I think there's a lot of decent plays. I wish I could go through the leans, but I'm going to keep that for the Discord today. So again, link in the description down below of how to join the Discord community and get access to all my plays and just an awesome community in general. It's all in the description of this video. So Trae Young will be our last video pick here. If you remember, we went to both these games against the Heat last time on the 24th and the 26th. They were both video picks, and he cashed the under very, very easily. So he's had 3 head-to-head games. He stayed under in all of these games. Why is it? Why can't he score against this team? Well, first of all, they limit free throws. Trae Young, one of the main guys that gets the free throw line a decent amount, whether that's a good brand of basketball or not. That just up to you. But Trae Young is a smaller guard, so take give him some props where it's due. He takes a lot of big hits and he gets the free throw line a lot. The Miami Heat, the best team in the league, and not allowing free throws. Transition's another big thing they don't allow. Isolation, another big thing they don't allow. So the main ways he scores the ball, yes, pick and roll ball handling, more of a mediocre matchup, but the transition, the free throws, all these things are going to translate to a very, very low hit rate on his scoring. So we are going to take a look at this. DPT is that second dominant player type. That's the transition here. So I want to take that and go to the bottom 15 teams. Be very cautious and lenient on that. So again, they're ranked number 3. I'm looking at the bottom half of the league. So even though they're ranked 3, we're taking a look at all of these. The next thing I want to couple with that is going to be the free throws allowed per game. So opponents' free throws allowed per game. This is ranked number 1. So I'm going to go to bottom 10 in the league or top 10 in the league and not allowing free throws. He's only over this in 4 of 15 games. This March 14th game, we also went to his under because of the similar situation. If he didn't get it against the Heat, he didn't get it against the Clippers. If they don't allow free throws and they don't allow transition shots, Trae Young's going to have a difficult time going over his scoring line. And again, you can see his rebounding and assist lines also pretty good. So if you want to take a look at his rebounds and assists, if you want to look at an over for Trae Young, it would be this situation. But again, 1.5 point spread should be a close one. I do like the under in points over everything. So that brings us to the recap of the video picks for today. We had Deni Avdija over 13.5 rebounds and assists. With the time on the court and all the injuries piling up for that team, his hit rate is awesome on this, and he crushes this line a whole lot. Similar thing for Josh Giddey. Point guards are getting injured on this Bulls team. Giddey on the injury report himself, but if he does go out and play, really liking this situation. He had 27 rebounds and assists against this Lakers team last time they played just a few days ago. Then Trae Young under 23 points. Horrible matchup for him. Can't get to the free throw line much against Miami. Can't do much in transition in terms of scoring. And he stays under against these similar types of matchups very, very consistently. He's a guy that we actually went on the under 3 different times, twice against the Miami Heat recently. over the last month, and also against the Clippers. So going to try to continue to ride this wave. All these plays are something that we've gone to more recently, and you got to find those down the stretch of the year. Certain guys that are getting more minutes, more opportunities. You got to try to find that before the lines are too high that you can just keep attacking that over. And on under situations, guys that might be in Chris Paul guys, Harrison Barnes guys on the Spurs. People that are losing minutes, they're playing more players. They're playing wider rotation because they're not playing for playoffs or positioning. And the older guys, especially, they don't need to risk any sort of injury like that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Sorry if I rushed through it and spoke too fast at some points, but I do have a meeting coming up. But I wanted to get something out for you guys. I know it's later in the day. I will get better at posting these videos earlier so more people can see them. But for everyone that does watch them and likes the videos, I always appreciate those. And yeah, actually excited for the MLB to start. Going to be more bets on those, more value out there in terms of the entire board, just with another sport added to the equation. And with baseball, there's always games happening. A lot of teams play pretty much every single day. So yeah, that will do it for me. Thanks for watching. I got to get out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck with all your bets. Peace out.